Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Welcome to the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. Today, a unique record review, something fun for me to do. I'm going to play this record for you. I've not opened it yet, but this is a jazz album tribute to Bird from 1963 by a jazz trumpeter named Ira Sullivan, not very well known. I bought this on eBay. It's still sealed. And this right here is a straight ahead bop record. And I did not know anything about this guy until I watched a YouTube channel by a guy named Bob Mover. Jazzability on the Real Side is what his channel is called. And he's a jazz musician that's been around a long time and has a lot of interesting people that he interviews on his channel. And unfortunately, it's not very well known. So I'm going to put a link to it below because I think it's a pretty cool channel. Just a lot of good discussions, just jazz musicians having discussions back and forth. And this guy, Ira Sullivan, was the subject of a couple of his episodes. And this right here I found online, still sealed, from 1963. And it's a tribute to Bird, recorded in 1962. It's called Bird Lives. It was recorded March 12th, 1962, released in 1963, and was recorded at the Bird House in Chicago, Illinois, on the VJ label. So I'm going to actually open this up with you guys and got to clean it off here, but from 1963. So I'm kind of excited about this. It's brand new, but it's going to be interesting to see what kind of actual shape the record's in, how it's going to sound when I play it, and so on and so forth. So this should be fun. I didn't know anything about Ira Sullivan. He's a trumpet player, born in 1931 in Washington, D.C., and died in 2020 at the age of 89 in Miami, Florida. And didn't have that many records that he recorded, but he had quite a few as a sideman. And I guess according to the things on the internet, he wasn't very keen on a lot of traveling. And so he kind of went into more of an education route. And anyways, this particular album looked very interesting to me. And so I bought it on eBay. And my eBay purchases lately have been a lot less just because people still don't know how to rate records. I've done two videos on the problem of eBay purchases with people not knowing how to grade records. But this one is sealed, so whatever I get's what I get. I can't blame anybody. So I'm opening this up again, 1963 record album, kind of cool. And we're gonna see how how my luck is with this. I'm a big Charlie Parker fan, Dizzy Gillespie fan, of course. I love all that early bebop music. And this should be a pretty cool recording here. I listened to a little bit online on, I think, YouTube. You have trumpet, flugelhorn. Ira Sullivan plays both. You have a guy named Nicky Hill playing tenor saxophone on here. A guy named Jody Christian playing piano. Don Garrett on bass, and Dorrell Anderson or Wilbur Campbell on drums. So there is the songs and the personnel. And let's see what this looks like on the VJ label here. And you know, I tried to find this on Discogs, and I don't see this exact edition on Discogs. With the Stereophonic, I see a couple of reissues with the Stereophonic, but this is definitely an original pressing for as far as I can tell. And this looks, to be all authentic. So, but I don't see the exact album on Discogs. Now, taking this out, I can see a little scuffs on there a little bit. You know, you can see right there in the light maybe. I'm going to clean this off with distilled water. And I found these nice cloths that are a bit thicker than some of the other ones I've been using. And they really clean the records off well. and I use distilled water, especially if they're brand new. I don't have, you know, any expensive cleaning gear or anything like that. So I'm going to clean this off, and we're going to see how this sounds. And kind of excited about this. I still like buying, you know, part of the fun of record collecting is still buying, you know, old records, used records. And as much as I like the reissues and things like that, it's this right here also is part of the fun, in my opinion. It's just finding these old records, and they're kind of cool. So we're gonna see how this sounds. I don't know what kind of quality this is gonna be, you know, how it's gonna sound or anything. So we'll see whether I get lucky with the really good pressing or not. And I can see another issue here. So there's definitely an issue on here. If you look closely, there's a speck. You can see it right there. See it? That's gonna, I can feel that with my finger. So that's gonna cause a pop or something, but I can't tell if that's something I can get off of there. Now see, this is where I wish I had something that would clean that off. I do have cleaning solution that I'll put on records, but this looks like it's an actual defect in the pressing. Yeah, you can see it in the actual part of the vinyl. So that's unfortunate. Kind of sucks. I don't know if it's even going to play through that, because it's a pretty substantial imperfection in the actual grooves of the record. So I'm still gonna, that's on side one. So let me go ahead and spray this off one more time. That kind of sucks. This, I guess, part of the gamble. And it looked like it was an authentic, you know, wrapper. It doesn't look like it was, you know, it's that real frail paper, that wrapper that they put on it, so it doesn't look like anybody did anything crazy. It's let's play this and see what this sounds like. So it's a live recording. Again, recorded at the Birdhouse in Chicago, and you can tell it's a live recording. Doesn't sound bad. It sounds maybe a little top mid highs are more pronounced, mid-rangey. It's you know, bit airy sounding. As far as the surface noise, don't really notice it at this point, but when it hits that bad spot, it's gonna pop for sure. I'm digging it though, the music. It's a really, you know, brand new shape. Unfortunately, take a gamble when you buy a sealed record like that from 1962, and you take a gamble on whether or not it was going to be a good press. Even back then, all the pressings weren't good. It just goes to show you. This guy's from Washington, D.C., was born there in 1931. His dad taught him to play trumpet beginning at 3.5 years old. His mother taught him saxophone. He's a multi-instrumentalist. Played in the 50s with Parker, with Lester Young, Wardell Gray, Roy Eldridge, and became very popular as a great bebop soloist with the trumpet. Played with Art Blakey, played the alto and baritone saxophones as well. And then basically during the 60s, he kind of phased out and moved down to Miami. As far as I can tell, this is only recording for DJ. But played with a lot of different people: Red Garland, Art Blakey, Philly Joe Jones, Roland Kirk, Red Rodney. I wouldn't call it a great recording. You know, it's a typical live recording that you would get back then. Not terrible, not fantastic. Playing's phenomenal. I'd never heard of the piano player, Jody Christian. He sure play. So yeah, part of the fun for me is still looking for new artists, whether they be modern artists or artists in the past that I haven't heard of. And I've mentioned that YouTube channel by Bob Mover. I like those kind of channels where you learn about new musicians, and I like, you know, discovering new music that I haven't heard of. And I love bebop, so this is right up my alley. If anybody knows anything about, you know, this is probably not a very popular album, but with this stereophonic on the top, the only ones I see on Discogs are reissues, and they have a completely different catalog number for the reissues. This SR3033 looks to be the original catalog number, and the mono, there was a mono version and then a stereo version. I'm gonna go ahead and let this play through the first side because I want to see how bad that pop is gonna be. So if you want to hang out with me, see how that turns out. I'm gonna let it play the rest through this side, and I'll let you know when it gets close to that pop, and we'll see how bad it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty bad. It's gonna be several times around. Kind of hate to let it play through it because so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move it up to that song that has that defect in it to kind of make it a little quicker here. So we'll see how it comes out instead of letting it play through 2 more songs. I'm gonna move it up through part way through the second song here. Oh, let's see. In Other Words is the name of this song. Getting close here to the bad spot. You hear it? That really makes me angry. So there you go. That's what you get. You gamble on a sealed record from 1963, and sometimes you lose on the gamble, and I lost, so. There's nothing you can do to get it off. It's part of the actual pressing. It's through it now, just about. So I'm surprised it played through it, but that's what happens. So, lesson learned. What are you gonna do though? Other than that, it sounds like a really cool record. That one end of that one song is kind of spoiled, but otherwise the playing is fantastic. It's a great live sounding record. Very, you know, has a lot of high end to it. It's very bright. And a lot of great playing on it. So there you have it. A little bit of fun there with an old sealed record, and even, you know, in the heyday of records back then, VJ, their pressing there was defective. So there you have it. All right, we'll see you on the next episode. I got Thelonious Monk's coming up. I'm going to be going through all 7 of those records in that box set that I did the unboxing overview of, and I'll be going through, and I've got some comparisons to do on those as well. So I will talk to you on the next episode, and happy listening to all, and hopefully your gambles, if you're buying sealed old records like this, you'll fare a little bit better than I did. Take care.